Not ideal, but fast, it's calories. I'll eat and get right back to it. Also, Burhan, you notice this? I saw you, bro. Intake. I got it. I actually love it a lot. Another thing I got to do, meeting with Noah Susong, the Good Vibes guy, later today. But I also need to set up my Pixel. Blackforge Marketing is working on a sick ad campaign for me. It's our first one, so we get one deal off of this and we're like 3x ROI, 4x ROI, so a simple ad campaign, but it needs to work. I was just blown away what a good film and marketing and content creation guy can do. He sent me the file of everything, just raw footage. I was blown away at what he captured without me noticing. It was incredible, dude. I did not think he was gonna capture what he captured. It was pretty beautiful, and I'm like sold on it. Introducing the lore wall, specifically coined by the great and powerful Jake Pastick. Vibe code extraordinaire, visionary thinker, and a gentleman. I've already got some phrases here, which I'll explain in a second. We're gonna get rid of that abomination. I'm gonna use the lore wall to tell the story of the Stride brand. Anytime there's a coined phrase or an impactful statement or a lesson or emblem even, we're gonna have some icons and emblems that represent what we're building at Stride. This is an AI company. There's soul to it. It's not just gonna be some copy-paste, sanitized AI company. We work with real people, real founders, who I believe will relate a lot to what we're gonna be building on this wall. So let me bring you a little closer and show you what we're working with so far. Fear is the mind killer. Frank Herbert, Dune. Unless you're living under a rock, you've heard this recently. Read a book. I don't know. Pretty clear what this means, but I'll read off the entire mantra for you because it's pretty dope. This is my wife's copy. Let me read it to you. Here's the full quote. People of Arrakis, it's me, Shia Lud. No, I'm just kidding. Jokes. Frank Herbert calls this a litany against fear, and I love it. Let me get a little cinematic for you for a second. I must not fear. Fear is the mind killer. Fear is the little death that brings total obliteration. I will face my fear. I will permit it to pass over me and through me. And when it has gone past, I will turn the inner eye to see its path. Where the fear is gone, there will be nothing. Only I will remain. Tell me that doesn't fire you up, huh? Also, beautiful cover art. Come on. This isn't a book tube, but give me a break. Had to show that off. Thanks, babe. You can't avoid fear, and we're not going to avoid fear. But when a client first sees that, man, I've got to install this AI stuff to solve my problems, that can feel intimidating if you don't know what we're doing. And most don't. But I've seen so many founders and so many business owners refuse to change because they're afraid of it. At Stride, we embody this. We're not avoiding fear. We're letting it pass over us. We're observing it, we're respecting it, and we're moving forward anyway. Beautiful stuff. I made a reel about this already, but doing stuff. When my son was really little, I say really little, he's only 3 now, but he'd be working on something or focused, and we'd come up and bug him and say, buddy, what are you doing? What are you working on? And he'd say, I'm doing stuff. And like to brush us off, like, get out of here, I'm doing stuff. Now he just throws stuff at me. But when I'm down here grinding all day long, this comes up constantly because I get some kind of distraction or pop-up or notification that I don't need. And that phrase always hits my mind in my son's voice. Come on, I'm doing stuff, leave me alone. That obviously has something to do with Stride, but this is on my mind all the time. Kind of a homage to my son and how he's helped me get through this whole process. So, and as you can see, we've got a lot of space to fill. And I want to have it all filled. So, my next video is going to be a lot more build focused. I have so many builds recorded and like ready to show you guys how they can affect and impact your business in the most amazing way you could imagine. But so you don't have to wait that long. Should have that out honestly by Wednesday or Thursday. I'm going to Wyoming this weekend, so that'll be awesome. Honestly, just a way to kick back and decompress. It's hard to want to leave. I've got so much work to do and revenue is really low right now. So we're in that very crucial phase of just output. But I haven't taken a break in a long time. So it'll be good to go blow some crap up and enjoy the woods and be out of service for 2 days. I'm really excited. Side note, I was at a viewing yesterday. Old football coach. He was like my first coach. Guy had 10 kids. That's a lot of kids relying on one guy. He was a great dude. He was a big stepping stone in why I continued to play football, which was on the varsity team down here in Springville in 2010. We took second in state. It was a great time. But when he was my coach, I was just a wee freshman. Geez, I might have even been in like 8th grade at that point. But anyway, there's no way I was over a $120 or maybe even 100 pounds. But I was a defensive back, and he was trying to help me figure out where my role was. And at that age, you know, whatever. But he had come up with all these amazing derogatory nicknames for the guys on the team in a loving, friendly way, like every boy should experience. He had some really good ones, and he couldn't figure me out. And frankly, I wasn't drawing a lot of attention because I wasn't that spectacular. I watch in horror from the corner of my eye as he's looking me up and down. And we already call you Harry, but that's not good enough. Harry, Harris, Harry, Harry-is, Harry ass. And so sure enough, the rest of the boys caught on. It was hilarious. Now, at that age, I was really insecure and really shy, and it hurt and freaked me out a bit. It was so important because that was an anchor into that little social group of boys. It established some camaraderie, and I think that's really funny in masculine or male groups is the level of shit giving that is handed out. It creates this bond that's just incredible, and it took me until I was like 26 to really start to engage with that kind of banter, and I'm so glad I did. I also had this habit where I would the pile would set and the whistle wasn't quite blown yet, or maybe it was, I couldn't tell the difference. And I would jump on that pile every single time, dude. I was a little crackhead. I had so much pent up anger and rage that I just wanted to hit something, right? And I did it all the time. And he he kind of encouraged it. He's just like, Harris, I love the violence, dude. Like, that's awesome. He's like, but you gotta chill out a little bit. At least try to listen for the whistle. And by that point, I'm like, what's a whistle? A few simple memories on top of the banter and being a strong masculine figure. He was kind and he was loving. And I knew I was safe around Coach Ewing. So Mike, love you. Didn't know you super well, but if you're hearing this, man, you had a solid impact on my life. It made me want to come back to practice. And for at least this kid, that was pretty special. All right, that's going to have to do it for this video, but stay tuned for the next one, hopefully out by Wednesday or Thursday. I'm going to show you nothing but amazing builds that I'm working on. Blow your mind. Should be pretty exciting stuff. Fear is the mind killer. Embrace it, overcome it.